A very good evening and welcome to Sunday's News Special, your Sunday bulletin that comes your way on Sunday evening. Today's package is full and we're delighted to be here, and we assure you that you're going to have something to learn today from this episode. My name is Blessing. It's somewhere I'm not alone. I'm with my beautiful colleague here.
My name is
Yeah.
Ayare.
She's blushing.
Thank you for joining us. Today's package promises to be very, very entertaining and educating.
Yes, first, we give you the headlines that you will be listening to today. Governor Minor reels out itinerary for celebration of his first year in office.
Reporter looks at how often towels should be washed to prevent skin infections.
How should one eat in public to maintain good table manners?
And evangelist Ekaite Oko releases new album, Season of Worship.
That's these headlines and more are the things, the stories that we'll be discussing with you today. So stay tuned and enjoy yourself. And thank you once again for tuning in. Our first report today is on the governor and his administration's first anniversary celebration. With a few days to the first anniversary celebration of the Moino-led administration, activities earmarked for the event have been made public. The governor made this known at the pre-monthly Government House prayer held at the Later House Chapel, Government House, where he also spoke on other issues, including his upcoming birthday anniversary, the Arise initiative for the elders, as well as the need to protect government projects against vandalism. Our Government House reporter, Patience John, has more.
Thanksgiving, choir rendition, and praises were some features at the service, while the Deputy Governor, Senator Okoni took the Bible reading.
Be rescued from perverse and evil men, for not all have faith. But the Lord is faithful, and he will strengthen and protect you from the evil one.
Governor Moino spoke on his 60th birthday and 1 year in office.
I'd like to also say that on Wednesday, for those who have time, on the 24th, that will be my 60th birthday. For me, take the money, look for somebody, make somebody happy, and tell the person you are celebrating my birthday with the person. Bless a life. Send us the pictures. We'll make an album. And it's a wish. Everybody has the right to decide how he wants. You know, the only thing we intend to do is to go for a Thanksgiving service, 4 p.m. at the International Christian Worship Center. For those of you who are disposed, please join us. Say that we're beginning to get into our first year in office, and we'll list up some projects that we'll commission. The ones we inherited, we're finishing and exiting, and the Secretary to Government will soon make the list available. Please join us as we come to your area, as we commission these projects.
On the Arise initiative for the elderly in vandalism of government infrastructure, Governor Moeno wants defaulters to desist from such acts.
Each local government give us 15 elderly people so we can support them. If for nothing, their medications. And we give them 50,000 naira a month. Is an Arise initiative for the elderly. But we have observed that the complaints we get is that some people have hijacked that process. And I will either cancel it or we get those people to book. And you know me, the day I would take the microphone and announce your name, there's nothing you can do. So please allow the process to run. One person cannot bring 15 people. Not supposed to be a PDP thing. Please, government programs are not meant for PDP. Government programs are meant for Akwa Ibom people to deal with. And I want to please appeal. Each transformer now costs between 12 and 15 million naira. If you find it cheaper, let us know. But I like to beg. There are communities that I know the last administration got well over 200 transformers. I mean, maybe that I'm even understating it. But they distributed these transformers. They fixed these transformers. But they vandalized these transformers. People live in those communities. And so if government brings 15 million naira, install a transformer in your community, and you can't make people watch it, you can't set up a system to protect it, and they vandalize it, you come again.
A sermon by the Reverend Emmanuel Inyama of the Precious Faith Church encouraged believers to pray for each other.
The greatest enemy any of us have is the enemy from within. And if you can discern the enemy from within, then it can be your cabinet. If God can help you to know the enemy within, the strength of the enemy outside will be arrested.
The governor on Friday attended the funeral service of the late Etelu Dominic Udoi Baga of the Siena local government area, and the traditional marriage between Princess Naomi Ukpongeno and Joshua Davis Udo in Nikore Penudo, the local government area, where the governor served as the father of the day. Patience John, AKBC News.
Wow, how time flies. So it's 1 year already since the governor came on board, 29th May 2023. Yeah. It's almost a year, and the governor is set to celebrate by commissioning projects. And like he said, when it comes around your area, please, come out, celebrate with him. And in particular, he has said something about protecting government, facilities in your area. I mean, there's nothing difficult about that. If you really appreciate what government has done and you see it as your own, you own it, there should be a system. There should be, what about the community people, the young men, that should form a team to protect those things. If they have to maybe build a kind of protection, maybe some security around the projects. For instance, what's it called now? Transformer. If you have to build, a security around it, you do it to protect it. It's serving your community. It's not the governor that will come and enjoy it or any other person. He has also talked about the Arise initiative for the elders. And, the governor insists it must be done right. I agree with that. It has to be done right.
Yeah, we are glad to know that it's a year already. By May, the governor will be celebrating 1 year in office. And I'm so sure the governor has recorded tremendous strides for this 1 year, because if you look at this present governor, he wants everything to be done accordingly. Yeah. And I think he's not doing anything wrong. He has also talked about, like Blessing said, the vandalism of government properties. and question and quote the transformer. Do you know that even in my village, the transformer we got has been vandalized? And it's a very pitiful situation. How can you destroy what the government has given you free of charge to enjoy? And after that, you go back to the same government and ask for more.
Because it is government.
Is that possible at all? Because it's government. Like in my dialect, they will say, "More government." This is a very wrong mindset. It's not to be encouraged, because by the time you do this, like that my village that I'm talking about, for like 4 years now, we've not had light.
Wow.
We've
so
been
who
in
is suffering?
Who is suffering? Although the person that is doing this might not feel anything is wrong with it, but what about the innocent citizens out there? It's a very bad thing.
It is.
But do you know one thing that interests me?
What?
In that same story you read, very soon it will be the birth anniversary of the governor.
And I hope you understand the way he wants it celebrated.
Of course, I'm from Surubim. What do you expect?
So you go to your village,
of course,
and celebrate with your people.
Yes, so I'll have a free visa. I can even give you one invite so that at least you can come
go to my own community and celebrate.
Please do that.
And feed the poor.
Don't do that.
And care for the vulnerable and send the photos.
Of course, that's what the governor emphasized, especially when he said the elderly, caring for the elderly, and he said 15 per local government.
Yes.
I just hope that the people that are doing this selection will be fair enough to go for the properly elderly, not political elders.
And those who don't have people. Because if I have an elderly person and I can take care of that person, I should give that chance to
another person.
Yeah,
that's very good. Okay, we move to the next story. Looking good is said to be good business. To achieve this, people spend time and money on expensive cosmetics and beauty supplements. Even at this, they still come down with skin diseases and infections traceable to bacteria on the personal body care items such as the towel. How often do you change your towel? Augusta Essien reports on this and the need to insist on a clean towel in the public space.
Towels, whether used to dry, clean, or wipe a surface or the body, draw moisture through direct contact. In the household, they are used as hand, bath, or kitchen towels, or to give the bathroom aesthetics, where several are displayed in their sizes and colors, even as foot towels. They are essentials in restaurants, bars, hotels, salons, grocery stores, hospitals, gyms, for hygienic properties. History has it that invention of the towel is commonly associated with the city of Bursa, Turkey, in the 17th century, as a flat woven piece of cotton or linen called a bedshemer, often hand embroidered, long enough to wrap around the body. For the purpose of personal hygiene, towels are not to be shared even among siblings, couples, talk less of in public space like the gym, swimming pool, or the salon. But then recall how many people or household can afford one for each member. And in the villages, for instance, where only the men own towels and display them on their shoulders on special occasions, while children brush off water from their bodies after a bath in the stream, or use their used cloth to dry their clean bodies. So, some are of the opinion that it is safer to brush off water after a bath with the hand rather than use a dirty towel. While owning a towel is not for status conferral, it is important to guide it as a prized possession by caring for it and changing it as when necessary. How often do you wash your towel?
I wash my personal towel 4 to 5 days.
Towels, you have to up to 5 by now, as of now. If I use one in the morning, evening I use another one. My wife does same. We don't share towels. I used to wash my towels every In fact, twice. Let me say, after using it for 2 times, I wash my own.
I have one towel. I do use it 1 week before I wash it. My towel is white. I do soak it with Ipo.
I'm use towel back here. Even many hand towel. I'm use towel me once in a week. I'm saying you don't give them down here. I
can swap in weekly. They'll change the other one. The other one use the other one.
Well, did you know that average bath, face or hand towel contains over 450 times more bacteria than a toilet seat? Studies say after each use, bacteria from the skin can linger on the towel and multiply over time. Again, a towel can cause a micro tear in the skin surface, providing a pathway for these bacteria to enter the body, leading to skin infections such as acne, eczema, irritation, or rashes. Sharing a towel, especially in public space, means sharing such infections when the towel is not regularly and properly washed.
I will advise each and every body to use their towel, at least if not washing it after 3 days. Let it be every week.
Maybe because of economy, they resort to that. But I need to advise the measure or the method I do, so as to be well with them. Because if they do or use one continuously, it may absorb some particular, maybe some germs.
Properly washed towel, be the face, hand, kitchen, or sports towel at home or in the salon, ensures an oil-free, bacteria-free absorbent that gives confidence and good self-esteem, not an avenue of disease transfer. Washing regularly too maintains clean surface and reduces the growth and buildups of harmful diseases, including allergic reactions. So, wash regularly and properly. Use mild detergent and clean water. Store the towels properly for proper ventilation. Insist on a clean towel if you have to spend a night in a hotel, or better still, go with one. Disposable absorbents are better after eating in a bar or restaurant. Beauticians and salonists would do well to use clean towels for every customer. If they don't, insist for your good.
Actually, personally, I do check the cleanliness of the towel. If it is not neat, if the smell is not okay, I don't use it. Salon, say the kinds of towels in I get salon or you check the colors. You hygienic. You sanaki. Before me, I use it because sometimes I knew for that to forget more cause infection. Give them. Say I know no towel. I don't come. At the back of the towel.
Augusta Siem, KBC News.
All right, you had the different opinions there. If I may ask, how many times do you wash your towel? How often do you wash it? How often do you even discard the old one? You know, should towels be used till it tears?
Till the kingdom come.
Maybe it becomes shreds. Or if it is white, you use it until it turns brown.
What we saw that man did on the screen.
Okay, we've heard about the health risk, how we can contact some bacteria that can cause diseases to our skin. So towel is something very intimate. It's a piece of material that is very intimate. We use it to clean every part of our body, so we should be careful. We should wash it. I believe each person should have more than one, so that you can change it, wash it, and keep your skin free from infection.
Honestly, Blessing, I know that when it comes to towel, some people will not be honest enough to tell us how often they wash their towels, because like that one woman said in that report that she washes her towel once in a month, I think I believe her, because in our place we don't really give premium to things like that, but it is wrong.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's not good enough.
Yes, it's not good. I think you should use your towel maybe 2 times, 3 times if you don't even have time. And because of maybe the weather too, if you don't have a good weather, can be 2 to 3 times. Yes, but if it is during the dry season, I don't see why you should not wash your towel every day. And aside that,
every day,
yes, aside the towel you have in the house, I think there is need, if you go to a salon, you should check the towels, or maybe you go with your towels, because these are the places you contract so many diseases because of the towels they use. Those ones they will share, and they will not wash it frequently. And if you go to a hotel, there is need too to check that the towels they are using. It is very important. We take everything for granted, and that's part. You don't even know where you contract a disease. You will not even know what will happen to you if you don't take care of these little things.
So if you value yourself, value your life, value your skin, there's need to take care of your towels.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, to the next report now. There are customs that control accepted behavior in any society, and such are called etiquettes. One of these is table manners, not only at home but social gatherings. Remember a popular saying, dress to be addressed. It also applies to eating, as the way you conduct yourself when seeing food speaks value. So how should people conduct themselves around food and drinks? How and what should they eat, especially in the public? Informed this report by Yagano Paul, who sought the counsel of a nutritionist on table manners.
Obviously, sets of rules guide eating habits, especially conducting oneself in public, and in particular when one sees food. Etiquette comes to play here, as it is the customary code polite behavior, which therefore means that there should be self-respect and discipline when people attend social events like marriages, birthdays, child dedication, funerals, or are at any public space for that matter. Nowadays, for personal reasons, people go with cellophane bags, containers of all sorts to events for takeaways, at the detriment of other guests and expense of the host. Where then lies etiquette and the pride of man when it comes to food?
It's our freedom. Because me don't take him go. What you want is as you feel get walk go. Get it. I get it. I want to boy is a take me 10 minutes I feel it. They can uniform. Then I want more uniform prince polo. Carry fair kaya can better meru conge boss. I got to 2 years. I sometimes with 500 or 1,000 naira. In that time, unam business. Or when I want at the end of the year. Some of them are very lazy. Very bad. They don't want stress. May witness very well. It can come extra back. There are
also times when people who volunteer or are contracted to cook at events reportedly make away with food items and sometimes cooking utensils, follow them back to their homes. There are instances when invited and uninvited guests threw values to the wind, struggle for every and anything demand, and eat all available in courses of variety of all in one plate, and going home in a sorry state where everything is exhausted.
Even a benny 20,000, even a benny 50,000, you can make.
Tell work, but why don't politics break your politics?
I call those people longer throats. They cannot know how to comport themselves in public. Even that thing can lead to stealing.
The one is doing the yam, even the pang bonyo, you don't go now, even if I eat a Bible, and then you can say you can every night you can't send. We don't know.
Ya government is no one even Gideon Missy go by no Ivano. Kenyan is saying, you know, I can say, in Idio Yendito.
Here is a dietitian and a nutritionist, Dr. Itoro Paul, on how people should behave with food at public space and social events.
I have personally witnessed people misbehave in the public when it comes to food. When you go for a wedding, your political meetings, and many other social functions, you see, it is unethical for you to carry back from your house to where occasion is being held. Or maybe when they are sharing drinks, you take one and put in the bag. When you get to the buffet, not for us to abuse the food, take a little portion. A portion that you can finish and clean the plate.
On table manners, Dr. Paul talks about the use of cutlery, protocol, etiquette, table manners, and culture, including criticizing food.
That when you are talking while you are eating, your food might choke you. You are not expected to spew things out. You have handkerchief with you, or you have the serviette with you. You cover your mouth and then you remove it carefully. Sneezing is involuntary action. You might sneeze when you are eating. If your friend sits beside you, instantly, I'm sorry, okay, or excuse me, finish eating and then you tell your friend, please, I'm so grateful, thank you very much, I appreciate.
But what are the people's opinion on table manners?
Umi Wolfian Akama Folk Ubo Nasia Ariampo.
Eat without talking as a child. You don't come and Folk or Ipang. When I made us Bobaka, I did answer a mess. There
are rules that guide you when you want to eat. Me, I use my normal spoon to eat. I don't make use of the cutlery.
Not I got table manners in the enemy. I will bet you get book you. The day is not I am to Modiam Gobusianam. And I am going to come back with my papa and I'm ready to pull off him. Because I'm not Bono. Remember that abiding by etiquette and protocol speaks volume of the person. Eat decently wherever you find yourself.
That's a very interesting one, and it's something we see almost every day as we attend occasions. We see people come to the events with maybe bags or extra food flask or something. It doesn't talk well of you. For me, I think people should eat before they go for an event, because you may get there and the food doesn't reach you, or you get there, it's not yet time to eat, you feel uncomfortable. So if you've fed yourself, then you go there, you say it in your dignity. If the food comes to you, fine. If it doesn't, you don't have any problem. And then talking about a buffet, hey, free things, you know, awoof, like they say, awoof the porch belly.
Honestly.
So you see all kinds of combination. You see rice going with the fruits on the same plate, and gari on the same plate, and soup and all of that. No, it doesn't talk well of you. Now, as we saw here, remember a popular saying, dress to be addressed. So in this case, it is eat to be addressed.
Honestly, this matter is very annoying. You go to an event, imagine people struggling for a program in a funeral.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that paper after that time?
Place?
They will fight, they will struggle, and if it is food, instead of even getting the food, they will pour it. Well, you may blame it on hunger, you may blame it on poverty, you may blame it on the economic situation in the country, but I don't see it that way. Because they say charity begins at home. How do you even eat in your house so that if you go out there, you'll be able to conduct yourself? What is the need of carrying polythene bags, carrying extra plates and pots to an event? This one is very embarrassing. You see that when you get the food, there's this event I attended of recent. I went for a reception, wedding reception. And when we left the church to the venue of the reception, we noticed that about 5 guys were there, neatly dressed. Honestly, you see them and perhaps call them gentlemen. But do you know that they were uninvited guests? And they came there with their bags. I was quick to notice that this one is not even a woman. That the guy picked the first drink in a table, pick it out, pick the second one, and I was curious, where is he picking the drinks to? So the third time I followed him, and I discovered
they will take it from the table.
Yes, they will take it and leave. Yes.
Okay.
So when I followed him, I discovered that there was a bag, a polythene bag, somewhere. He kept the drinks there. It was too embarrassing. He now did the same to food. This is not a woman's matter.
Okay.
I think everybody does it.
But maybe women do it more.
Yes, women do it more because in the situation of women, you know, they will invite them to come and help in
to
maybe
cook.
cooking.
Yes.
Then there you will see drama. They will pick salt. They will pick pepper. They will pick crayfish. They will pick meat. They will pick everything pickable. And you know the funniest part of it? They can even steal these things and keep in the bush. And another person will go and say, you know. Honestly, this thing we are laughing is not a laughable issue. I think it's a serious thing. Like the blessing said, dress to be addressed. Please eat to be addressed. When you go on a buffet, like the nutritionist said, pick one thing at a time. If you are eating rice, scoop a little portion of rice in your plate. Pick meat, go and sit when you finish it. Yes, please don't pick all the food and keep in one plate.
Long time in one plate.
It's wrong.
Okay,
let's move on.
The next report.
This one is Sunday wear. To many, Sunday is a special day, and to Christians, the most important day of the week to join in fellowship with other faithful in worshiping and thanking God. And Hope Anthony hits the street of Uyo for answers on why people dress their best on Sundays.
Proper and decent dressing mean different things to different people, depending on the day and occasion they are attending. This is maybe because of the saying, the way you dress is how you will be addressed. Wearing formal or informal clothes on ordinary days to work, school, or play is specified by such, but Sunday is one of the days when many people put on their presumed best clothes to church. The question is, why do people wear their best to the church?
Even in God's presence, you have to appear neat, you have to appear good, you have to look good. You know, because of all the sun now, it's only you can go a song. That's why Sunday said, and holy day for I appear neat. No matter where you walk, even the band doing it, Sunday I wear fine clothes, your best clothes.
The Sunday, I don't see no. Also, no, okay, my dog put no basi. I didn't have to say, you go for basi. And to make sure that Miss Siofton gets here on the year, as soon as I come for basi. So that the young bouquet basi, you shot the basi man in it. You know, go basi go man having to the we cannot even win to Sunday. That's why I'm the what was in it, do in the message, who's in it.
When you just find a woman who admire you. You know, that's, you can see a wife inside the church. Something you can meet your husband inside the church by dressing fine. So if you don't clean, nobody would like to come closer to you.
So we cannot judge them, first of all, by their dressing. It's all individual disposition. Someone want to go to church might want to present himself very nice before God's presence. So that disposition in them, oh, I'm going to the house of God, the pillar of truth. That's what the Bible says, the pillar of truth. So going there.
It is often said that God looks at the heart. Does it matter what one wears to God's presence?
No.
Yes, he looks at the heart, but you also have to present yourself. That's what the Bible also says, present yourself. You present in dressing, you present in attitude, you present in every direction of your life that you can present to God. There's nothing wrong about that clothes to God's house, but you being your disposition. It's all about your disposition.
According to my respondents, the practice of wearing one's best dress or cloth to church is a matter of personal conviction and cultural norms. There is no specific material or style of clothing that is required for holiness in the place of worship, but however, Christians say cleanliness is next to godliness. The reason the faithful should dress gorgeous into his presence, but to beware of indecent dressing. I sought out from my respondents to know who dresses the best between the men and the women.
Absolutely, women. But women, we are just trying.
When I go to church, I go say to learn the scripture, also take it home and talk to my children to bring them up.
Well, it is good to wear nice and neat clothes to the king's court, the church, but wear what makes you comfortable and what you can afford. After all, God sees the heart and judges the character. Hope Anthony, AKBC News.
Well, talking about beautiful clothes on Sundays, it is something I believe we were born to meet. I remember the excitement, when I was a little girl. On Sundays, that is when you're going to wear that your fine dress, that new one and all of that. And you see other children also well dressed. So there's this excitement about Sundays. Even the food on Sundays, used to be different.
Yeah, special.
Special. Rice and stew or something. So that day, I believe it's because it's a holiday, because most people work from Monday to Friday, some Monday to Saturday, so that's a free day and they have to appear good. The other thing could be because it's a day of worship. Everyone wants to appear before God, neat. Because even if you observe our other brothers who worship on Fridays, check them out on Fridays, the way they come out. Well dressed, they bring out their best. So I believe it's something that has to do with worship. We want to appear our best, before God. Apart from that, other people are also coming. You're going to the crowd. You don't want to be the one, not dressing well, not fitting in. So it's in place.
Yeah, when we are talking about dressing well, it has nothing to do with wearing expensive clothes.
Okay.
There's this big difference between neat dressing and wearing something very expensive. So when you're going to your father's house, which we the Christians believe that's a father's house, you dress neatly. You don't have to go there with torn or tattered clothes because you don't have. Even if you don't have, you have two clothes, you can wash them, make them presentable, and when you're going to the church, there's this adage that says that you can even have 5 naira in your pocket, but the way you dress and the way you smell fine, people won't know that you've not gathered enough. So there's that distinction. I think is a good thing to go to your father's house very neat, and that's what we do. We are not trying to copy anybody. That's what when we were children, that's what we saw.
That's what
and
we
we've grown with that, and we'll continue to do that because we worship only one God.
Yes.
And when you are going to Him, you have to be neat.
Okay. All right, here is where we'll take a break, and when we come back, do you know that as a man, not a boy, of course, you have advantage of keeping your sex life active to prevent diseases like prostate enlargement and cancer? We'll talk about this after the break.
I just want your papers, please.
Sir.
Salary don't enter. Yes, so. And Monday never even reach it. Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect Roger from my hand. Shut up, sir. I'm here to bail my younger brother.
Happen. With good laws,
proper funding, training,
and cooperation.
If it happens.
We are glad to know that you're still there. Welcome back. Now to the next report. Do you know that as a man, not a boy, of course, you have advantage of keeping your sex life active to prevent diseases like prostate enlargement and cancer? Do you also know that even when you are down with prostate, it is not a death sentence, as this ailment can be cured? Paul again in this report contacted a urologist on prevention and cure for prostate enlargement in men.
Prostate is a walnut-sized gland that rests under the bladder and surrounds the urethra. That is the canal that carries the urine. Prostate can be enlarged, becoming a serious ailment to men as a result of unregarded living, aging, urination problems, and many other factors. Now, how can one know that he has a prostate enlargement? The symptoms include constant urge to end frequent urination, especially at night, difficulty in getting the urine out, and emotional drainage. A specialist in urology and senior registrar urology in the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, Dr. Towong Peter, highlights the risk factors of prostate enlargement.
Okay, when the prostate increases in size with age, like I said, studies have shown that from your 5th and 6th decade, it begins to increase in size. So when it does that, you know, the pipe we call the urethra that carries urine from the bladder to the outside also passes through the prostate. So when the prostate increases in size like that, it now occludes, it compresses on that pathway for the urine to pass. It now causes what we call lower urinary tract symptoms. And that's when you see people start complaining of difficulty in passing urine, which has a whole lot of symptoms, both the ones that we call irritative. That one is urinating every now and then, waking up at night more than 2 times to urinate. And then sometimes you feel like if you don't go to pass urine immediately, that the thing might just come out without your control. Then there's also the feeling of incomplete emptying, where after peeing, the person still feels like something is still left inside. Causes of prostate cancer, there are a whole lot of them. But basically, it's divided into modifiable and non-modifiable.
It is worthy of note that prostate enlargement and prostate cancer, similar as both, are difficult to differentiate. But prostate enlargement, also known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, is not in any way precursor to prostate cancer, and that prostate is common in black men between the ages of 50 and 60, according to Dr. Peter.
Family history. If you have a first-degree relative, like your father has prostate cancer, your son has prostate cancer, your brother has prostate cancer, the chances of you coming down with prostate cancer is much higher. And then, of course, as a male, being a man is a risk factor on its own because you have a prostate. That means there's a chance that anything can happen. Then we also go to the other spectrum, which is the modifiable. That means you can actually improve on your lifestyle to reduce the risk of coming down with these issues. There's recently a link has been shown, obesity. People that are obese, there's a link between that due to elaboration of the male hormones. Once you modify your lifestyle, reduce sexual multiple, as in don't have multiple sexual partners, I think basically that will help.
Effects of the ailment include infection and bladder damage, low sex drive, weak erection, quick release, dizziness, fatigue, and blood in urine. The urologist suggests tests for men in their 40s to a certain trait of prostate and treatment.
Current recommendations is that you undergo PSA screening once a year from the age of 40 and above. You know, there is a reference range for the PSA. We call it prostate-specific antigen. It's recommended once you are age 40 and above, once a year you go check it. You also have to do something about the modifiable risk factors, like the diet, you reduce fat in diet. Alcohol and smoking, even that I didn't mention earlier, they are still being implicated. So sexual function, although this one, it has an advantage because recent studies have shown that the more you have sex, the lower your chances of coming down with prostate cancer because you are going to those anaerobic toxins that are carcinogenic, you push them out during ejaculation.
With all the inconveniences of prostate, don't you agree that it is pertinent to go for a test regularly to know your status? It is also recommended that men perform their duty in the other room to avoid prostate-related issues, for a stitch in time could serve 9. Iyageno Paul, A. KBC News.
Yes, so I know that men will like this one. They should perform their duties in the other room.
Oh, yeah.
Let it be their personal other room. Not just going, spreading around.
To different rooms.
Yes, to different rooms. Let it be a specific other room. And the issue of tests, I think that's just, you know, the way out. Getting tested once you turn 40, you know, because the doctor has said that being a man on its own is a risk factor. So from 40 years you begin to test, you know, yourself at least once a year. It will help.
Blessing, I used to think that it's only women that have problems. I didn't know that men too.
Men also do.
Men also cry. And you know that they can hide this for men who have prostates. But the good news is, like she read, prostate is not a death sentence. Yeah. It's cured. The only thing is you don't have to hide it. Yeah. By the time you hide it, it may develop to something else and it may affect your life. But if you know that you have prostate, please rush to any hospital. They will refer you to a specialist and you'll get treated. And for those who don't have, I think it's better to follow the doctor's directive, do what it's worth doing, and eat right, live a healthy lifestyle, and please patronize the other room, like they said, regularly, so that you don't come up with this disease.
Okay, I know.
Okay, let's keep the other room and move on to the other reports. An indigenous gospel artist, Evangelist Ekaito Oko, has launched a new music album titled Season of Worship. The launching, which attracted her friends and associates, coincided with the launch of her charity foundation. Esther Moran reports that the event took place at Choice Events and Plaza.
It is not easy for one to construct. For somebody to sit down in the house and build up an album is not an easy thing. We are not here for too much speech. I'll add whatever it takes to construct a Gaike Go album.
We do sincerely apologize for the mix-up on that report. We will do something about it and bring it your way again in subsequent bulletin. So we move to the next one now that has to do with Yahoo boys and their jail sentence. The Uyo Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has secured the conviction and sentencing of the proprietor of an Uyo Cybercrime Training Center, Kemet Edet, popularly known as Hustle Kingdom. A statement released on Sunday by EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale said Edet was jailed on Wednesday, April 17, 2024, after pleading guilty to 2-count charge bordering on impersonation, love scam, hacking, editing of social media accounts, and private criminal tutoring upon his arraignment by the Uyo Zonal Command of the Commission. After listening to the lawyers, Justice Ojukwu convicted Edet and sentenced him to 5 years jail term on each count with an option of fine of 2 million naira on each count. The court also ordered that all recovered exhibits from the convicts be forfeited to the federal government of Nigeria. Exhibits recovered from Edet include 13 laptops, a gold-colored Toyota Corolla, a Lexus Jeep RX 300, and about 3,008.25 square meters of land located at Ibiako Biondobo village, Uran local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Edet's journey to jail commenced on January 22, 2024, when investigators from the EFCC's office in Uyo acted on intelligence and arrested 10 suspects at the Cybercrimes Training Center at D-Line, Ewet Housing Estate, Uyo. All the suspects have been charged to courts and convicted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Everybody, the words of the former governor. Oh, Uyo.
But people have minds, oh. So somebody sets up, a place and trains people.
Hey, come and set go up.
That's serious. Trains people on crime. Oh my God. I hope there will be some peace now that they have been caught, now that they have been jailed, and I just hope others have learned from this and will keep their ways straight, especially young people. Okay, with that report, we have concluded our Sunday news special for this week. Thank you for being a great companion.
Thank you so much. And like that last report ended, please do something genuine. Do something genuine. Don't go into fast money, looking for fast money, urgent 2K to survive. It is wrong. Do something tangible so that at least you can, that when we are here, you have peace. Yeah. When you go to prison, it's another world. Thank you so much for staying with us. We know that you had fun, because even we here, we had fun. And thank you, the studio hands. Thank you, everybody that has made this possible.
Thank you and good night. See you next week.